So it's getting around the time of Thanksgiving and other holidays. How do you plan on spending your Thanksgiving? The following are several family history ideas for Thanksgiving. And I will admit, when I first did this presentation, I had to stop in the middle because I realized that almost all of my ideas were for when you're in person with a large gathering. So I have had to restructure this presentation so that it will be available for multiple people, not just those who are able to meet in person, but also alternate ways to gather with family. Thanksgiving is usually a time to gather with family, have Thanksgiving meal together, share stories, and share what you're thankful for. But like I said, this year in 2020, it may be a bit different for several. You might not be able to travel. You might not be able to be together with as many people in your family as you normally are. So a lot of people don't realize it, but there are several ways to still get together with family virtually. And you can learn more about your family history. So there are a few options when it comes to a family gathering today. Since not everyone is able to travel, gather in large groups, you have to get creative. So one option for seeing and talking to family when you can't meet in person is to use Zoom. This is a site that allows you to meet virtually with multiple people online. You can each see each other and talk to one another. You can share your computer screens, photos, websites. That is actually how I'm recording my presentation right now, is through Zoom. It can be a bit tricky to use at first, but as long as you have someone who can kind of help you get started on it, it's fairly easy after that. You do have to have internet for it though, so that can be a bit of a problem. And you also need to have a camera of some sort, either on your computer or your phone. Another option is to create a Facebook group for family members. I know that not everybody has Facebook, but it does seem to be more common than access to Zoom, shall we say. So a lot of people at least have a Facebook account. They can get on there on their phone, computer, tablet, anything like that. You do not need a video camera or anything like that unless you wish to participate. But by creating a family group, you can share stories and memories and comments. You can create photo albums for family members to see. You can play games on there together. Get to know everyone just a little bit better. And again, you can do the Facebook Live where you record and talk. You can share family videos if they're digital, all types of things. So these are several activities that you can do to get your family more involved in family history. Most can be done in person or be modified to do virtually. Also, all ages can participate. One game that I'm kind of hoping to participate in soon is Guess the Family Member. For this, you want to gather a bit of information from individual family members and then see if others can guess who the individual is. So have a variety of questions so that you don't ask the same questions to all members participating. And you typically want at least a fairly large group of people participating, or various people, and then let others try to guess. So examples of questions to ask would be, who went to college at the University of Georgia? Who lives in the family home or home of their ancestors? Who has always lived in the same town? Whose birthday falls on a holiday? Who's the best cook in the family? That one you might get more than one answer. But little things like this, I know children love guessing games for one, but also it helps you learn a little bit more about your family members that you might not have known. You can also interview an older family member This is a wonderful way to learn more about them and their family. And today, interviews can be done in a great variety of ways. You can just call and talk over the phone. You can email questions. You can write a letter or create a form for them to fill out. You can do a video call. And you can even do an interview through Facebook, through kind of questions and comments back and forth. So some questions that you might want to ask, they'll depend on the person you are going to interview and their relationship to you. So examples of common questions would be, what are the names of your grandparents or parents and siblings? When and where were you born? Are you named after anyone in the family? I particularly love this question because a lot of times others don't realize who they were named after. They think it's just a simple name, when in fact they might have been named after multiple family members. Who taught you how to drive? And you have to remember, back in the day, so to speak, you didn't always have driving lessons. You just learned at home. Did you have any pets growing up? There are so many questions you can ask to interview a family member. You can find lists of questions online to download if you can't think of any. But also, an interview with a family member a lot of times works better if you're just talking back and forth. You can record it just audio, a video. Make sure to have permission before you start recording. But talking back and forth will make you think of questions and help the other person, prompt them to tell you things they might not have remembered before. So you can also share your favorite memories. This is something that me and my family like to do at almost any gathering. You never know what you might learn when listening to memories told by a family member. So like I mentioned, sometimes a person may need prompts to think of certain memories, such as a topic, a time of year, an event, individuals, locations. Examples of memories to share can be, of course, a favorite holiday memory, favorite teacher in grade school, favorite memory with grandparents or parents, favorite game played as a child, or favorite childhood memory. And again, these are just a few examples, but I know in my family, we'll take turns kind of going around and each person sharing memories relating to different topics. And it always amazes me that sometimes I hear memories or stories that I have never heard of before, or it finally makes sense why someone has a certain nickname, and I never thought about it until then. So just hearing short family memories can open your eyes to so many new things. Another thing at Thanksgiving, everyone typically thinks of food. So large family meal, perhaps dishes that were special for that time of year. Family recipes are often passed down through the generations. They have special meanings since they've often been customized over the years. There's several cooks in my family, and I know they don't necessarily follow a recipe that was in a book, or it might have been at one time, but they've changed it this way or that. I remember growing up in my grandparents' house, the inside of the cabinet doors in the kitchen would have little recipes taped inside them. So little things like that make me think of family. But then there's also certain dishes that are special to our family that, you know, one person was kind of famous for making that particular dish. Some of them I wish I still had the recipes for. So examples of special family recipes may be for desserts, like cakes, pie, banana nut bread, ice cream. I have the fondest memories of my uncle us making peach ice cream with the peaches he grew and everything that we had on the farm, and using a turn machine to make ice cream. Just talking about recipes can make you think of memories. a quiche, crepes, casserole, omelets, pancakes. Some of these things, at first, you might think there is only one basic way to make it. But again, I remember having some of these dishes and thinking I never would have thought to put these ingredients together. Main courses like chicken and dumplings, meatloaf, soups, spaghetti. I think almost every family has a secret spaghetti recipe. Chili, a roast, and of course those famous side dishes: sweet potato casserole, stuffing, cornbread, macaroni and cheese, biscuits, dinner rolls, garlic mashed potatoes. And again, some of these are slightly biased. They're very southern dishes and often around more towards the holidays like Thanksgiving. But these are also dishes that the ingredients, the way they are made, can vary greatly. Of course, several of these today you can find just in a box and put together. But when you have a meal made completely from scratch from a family member, from a recipe that's passed down, that does make it a bit more special. Excuse me. Oops. There we go. Another big thing would be to share family photos. If you know me in person, you know that I have always got a way to digitize photographs, and I will try to get a copy of every one I can. Nearly everyone today does have a digital camera or smartphone that they can use to take photographs, but we often forget about the old family photos, family albums, and things like that. And the Thanksgiving holiday is a wonderful time to bring out all of your old original photos and share them with family members. The main goal is to scan and digitize these photos so that they will be preserved and they can be shared with others. And you can do this a few different ways. You can use a flatbed scanner to carefully scan and digitize your photos. But remember, if it is fragile, if it's in a frame, curled up a bit, you don't want to put it on a scanner. You don't want to damage it, basically. And if you have old photos in a picture frame, do not remove them. Do not even try, because most of the time they've adhered to the glass, or if they're in a photo album, they are stuck inside, so you might mess them up trying to remove them. So my recommended method is to use a free app called Cam Scanner to digitize your photos. It can photograph all size photos because you use it on your phone or tablet. So even if it's something the size of the wall, you can still photograph it. And then this app will straighten it, crop it, edit the color if you need, and you can even add notes to the photograph. So once you do all of that, if you are on Wi-Fi, it will sync automatically to the computer website. So therefore, you can have digitized photos in a matter of minutes. Once you have these digital copies of your photos, you can share them with family in different ways. Again, you can do a Facebook group, a family group. You can do email or Google Drive so that others are able to see. And then you can also share photos through sites like Shutterfly, where you can have albums in there as well. And another thing I'm hoping to do soon is to create a family calendar. You basically choose one person to help manage the calendar and a few to help gather information. There are many websites that will allow you to create a custom calendar, especially this time of year. You can choose the photos for each month, or you can create a collage. And if you are trying to do this to incorporate everyone else, you could maybe have a photo contest and let several family members submit photos and see who gets the most votes for the calendar. You can add family birthdays to each month. That's something that we've done in the past, so that way you can't say you forgot. Other special dates can be listed, such as 25th wedding anniversary or a milestone birthday, the date for a family reunion coming up, and various things like that. Make Christmas decorations with family photos. This is something that I like to do because I'll usually try to plan ahead. So while you're together at Thanksgiving, take pictures that can be used for Christmas decorations. You can create Christmas tree ornaments out of copies of photos. All ages can participate in decorating them. You can do this from small children, even just making handprints, finger paint. You can make more decorative ornaments, all types of things. Recreate an old family photo or memory. You see this all the time, and this could be something that would be fun to do to try to create a new family album. Record children singing or wishing everyone a Merry Christmas so that you can share that later if you have older family members who maybe can't get out in the cold and winter. So that's something that would be very nice to share. And share memories of Christmas traditions done by grandparents. Try to incorporate those traditions into this year's holiday. I think everyone probably has a variation of Christmas traditions. One that has been passed down to me, things that make me really think of Christmas, might be a bit unusual, but are fresh oranges. Oranges are something that my mother has always given at Christmas. Her parents did it, and for some reason, oranges make me think of Christmas. Here are some games that can be played during Thanksgiving in a variety of ways. So you can have a surname word scrabble. These are simple to create and fun to do. You basically just take several different last names and scramble the words and see if others can figure out what the name was. You can have prizes for who finishes the fastest, or just see who can figure them all out. You can do a family name word search. I think everyone likes word searches. There are several sites online that will let you create them, and you can enter the words or names that you want to use. And then you just simply print them out and share them with family. A family tree scavenger hunt. With a little coordination, this can be very entertaining. Create a list of clues for children to find. The clues can lead to a family member in attendance, a photo on the wall, a piece of furniture, decorations, or a specially placed item. That's something that it can actually be done in person or through Zoom if you coordinate with the parents there for them to hide the item or place the item. You can also do family bingo. Several sites will let you create bingo cards. You want to have a list of several family names so they're not all on each card, and then have all the names on a piece of paper to pull from a hat or a bag. And of course, this is popular with the young and the old, and it can go on for hours. And then one game that I'm very interested to try to get together is to do Family Feud at home. So this does take a bit more preparation than the others, but I think it would be well worth it. So you'll create a list of several questions, and they can be family related, but they don't have to be. But send this list of questions to several family members to answer. The more answers you have, the better. And then you'll need to write down and tally up the responses. So once you get all of those back, write down, of course, the most popular answers, how many people chose that answer. And so once you have all of that, you can create 2 teams or more family members and begin playing. Expect lots of laughs. So this can be done again in person, or it can be done virtually through Zoom or Facebook Live, where you have one person asking the questions and seeing who can get the answers right and who can get the most popular answers. And then, of course, you can always do a tribute to family members. Since Thanksgiving is one of the biggest family holidays of the year, it is only appropriate to celebrate family, especially those who are no longer with us. Pay tribute to family members who have passed in the last year, or even if it was longer ago, by keeping their memory alive. Let each person share a memory they have of the deceased. Have family photos out that include the individual who passed. And imagine what they might be talking about if they were there today. Is their favorite dish being made? Would they like the weather? Would they be more interested in the food or the football? And who might be able to make them laugh the most? Tributes to family are a wonderful way to keep their memory alive. At my wedding last year, I had photographs of almost all ancestors who had passed and were not able to attend. So that was my tribute to my family, is having their photographs scattered all over. I like to make sure everyone knows and remembers family. So even if you have photos that are special to you, but maybe they're photos of an ancestor who passed a while ago and the photo is of them as a young person, make sure that your family know who they are, because you don't want your photos to be lost later just because your children or grandchildren did not recognize the individual in them. So that's one reason I like to try to keep family photos out and share them as much as possible, because everybody deserves to be remembered. So again, even if you're unable to spend Thanksgiving as a large family gathering and a meal, you can still celebrate family. Keep the memory of lost loved ones alive by sharing their memories with younger generations. Try to get the children interested during the holidays, and hopefully that will be a new memory for them to cherish. And start new traditions. It's never too late to make a memory with family. You could start Thanksgiving family games, Thanksgiving time to create memories for Thanksgiving. It's really up to you. You just have to get creative. So I hope some of these ideas will help you and your family celebrate Thanksgiving this year and lead to more memories in the future. And if you are going to do any of these that you haven't done before, perhaps a family group on Facebook, do a Zoom meal or something like that, please let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear if you've tried any of these and how they work. Thank you.